The AI revolution isn't just one single thing, it's this whole ecosystem. It starts with the code a developer uses to build a simple chatbot, but it scales all the way up to these grand national strategies that countries are literally writing to secure their digital futures. So today, we're going to unpack that entire journey, from the code all the way to the Constitution.
All right, let's get into it. First, we're going to look at how most folks are actually building with AI right now. Then, we'll pop the hood and look at the engine itself. From there, we'll get into the huge, and I mean huge, debate over how to make AI safe. And finally, we're going to zoom all the way out to see how this tech is becoming a question of national identity.
Right? This really just hits the nail on the head. For millions of developers and for us as users, the magic of modern AI isn't something they built from the ground up. Nope, it's a service they just tap into, often without even realizing the mind-boggling complexity humming away behind the curtain.
So let's start right there. We're talking about the one tool that has unlocked this incredible wave of AI innovation for pretty much everyone, the API. The best way to think of it, it's like the power outlet for artificial intelligence.
And the real beauty of an API is just how simple it is. You don't need to understand nuclear physics to plug your phone into the wall and charge it. And it's the same idea here. A developer doesn't need to spend years building a massive language model just to add its power to their app. They just plug in with a couple lines of code.
And the crazy thing is, getting started is surprisingly easy. For a platform like Openai, it's pretty much a three-step process. You sign up, they give you this unique secret key, which is basically your password to the AI, and that's it. You're ready to build. That accessibility, that's the real game changer.
So what can you build once you're plugged in? Well, pretty much anything you can dream up. You can tap into models like GPT-4o for incredibly smart chat, use DALL-E to generate amazing images just from a text prompt, or even build these sophisticated AI agents that can do complex tasks for you. The possibilities are just massive.
But what if you need more than just a power outlet? What if you need access to the entire engine? This brings us to the next layer of our story, the huge difference between just using a sealed-off service and actually getting your hands on the AI's core components.
And this is a perfect example of why having the whole engine is so critical. I mean, think about it. In high-stakes fields like healthcare, you absolutely cannot just send sensitive patient data to some third-party company. No way. You need total control. You need to run the AI on your own secure servers behind your firewalls. And that's exactly where open-weight models come into play.
Okay, so let's really break this down. On one side, you've got the API service. That's our power outlet. It's super easy to use, but your control is limited and you have to send your data out. On the other side, you've got the open-weight model. That's the engine. This gives you total control, complete privacy because it runs on your own machines, and the power to deeply customize it with your own private data. It's the clear choice when you need both raw power and absolute confidentiality.
Okay, so whether you're just plugging in or you've got the whole engine, you run into this massive question. How do we make sure these incredibly powerful tools are used safely? Who actually gets to write the rulebook that controls how they behave?
So right now, there are basically two big ideas competing for how to do this. First, you have OpenAI's model spec. Think of this as a huge, really detailed legal code. It's something like 28,000 words long that lays out exactly what the AI should and shouldn't do. But then you have Anthropic's constitutional AI. This is less like a law book and more like a nation's constitution, a smaller set of core principles that the AI uses to teach and correct itself. It's this fundamental tension. Do you spell out every single rule, or do you teach broad principles?
And we're not just talking about vague ideas here. This principle from Anthropic's Constitution, for instance, is adapted directly from the UN Declaration of Human Rights. So the goal isn't to list thousands of niche rules, but to give the AI a kind of moral compass, and then let it reason about how to apply those core values in situations no one's ever seen before. It's a really fundamental split in how we think about teaching a machine right from wrong.
And this brings us to the final layer, the biggest one of all, because this whole question of rules and values isn't just happening in tech labs. It's happening at the level of entire nations, which are now seeing AI not just as a technology, but as a key to their own national identity and independence. It all comes down to this idea of digital sovereignty. It's the belief that for a country to be truly independent in the 21st century, it just can't be dependent on technology that's built and controlled by other countries. It means you need your own digital infrastructure, your own data centers, and yeah, ultimately, your own AI.
A really fascinating case study here is Iran's Openaiman project.
Its number one goal is technological self-sufficiency, and it's being built with some really distinct features, like post-quantum cryptography to guard against future cyber attacks, a unique economic model designed to reward its own users for their data, and a guiding philosophy that's explicitly rooted in the nation's own moral and spiritual principles, completely separate from Silicon Valley.
So what you end up with is this huge, stark contrast in how people see the future of AI. OpenAI's mission is global, to benefit humanity from one central platform. Openaiman's mission is national, to achieve digital sovereignty and justice with its own ecosystem. This isn't just about different tech, it's a deep philosophical divide. It shows how we could be heading towards a future with a splinter net of AI. Different systems that don't talk to each other, built on fundamentally different values.
And that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? We've gone from a single line of code all the way up to national constitutions. As this technology keeps growing, the choices we make at every single one of these layers, from a developer's API key to a nation's digital strategy, are going to have consequences for generations to come. The real question isn't just about what AI can do, but who gets to decide what it should do.